So here I'm going to go through a couple of simpler examples. And so this is an argument. Here's the turnstile that you have seen before. That means that S is our premise, and this R or S or P is our conclusion. Okay, so we want to show in our proof, how do we get from this premise to this conclusion? Okay, so here's what we do. Okay, so first we write the premise on a line, and we need to number these lines. So on line 1, we're going to put, that's the S, we're going to put our premise. On the far right, we're going to indicate that it's a premise with PR. We're also going to put a line underneath the last premise. In this case, we only have one premise, so we're going to put a line underneath that one premise. Then on line 2, what we want to do is put S or P. And the way we get S or P is to use the disjunction introduction rule. So we're going to cite that as wedge introduction, and we used that rule on line 1. So recall disjunction introduction, we have something on one line, and then on a new line we can repeat that, whatever it is. In our proof it's S. We can repeat it, wedge, and then anything else. And then we cite it like this. So that's just what we did down here, S or P, and then we cited it as wedge introduction, line 1. Okay, then line 3. What do we want here? Okay, so on line 3, what we've done the same thing. We've used wedge introduction again, and we've repeated S or P, repeated that. And then we've introduced a new wedge and R. So we're going to cite that as wedge introduction. And here we've used line 2. Okay, so this is our conclusion, so we're done. So we've shown how we can get from S, our one premise, to this conclusion. Okay, then here's another example. Again, we have just one premise, P and R and T, and our conclusion is R. So we want to show how can we get from this premise to this conclusion. Okay, so we begin again by writing the premise. Okay, we just have the one premise, so we're going to put a line here. Line 2, okay, we want to put P and R on a new line. Okay, so what we're using here is the conjunction elimination rule. So recall the conjunction elimination rule looks like this. If we have A and B, then we can on a new line put either the A or the B. Okay, so down here, this is the A, this is the B, and so on a new line we're putting this whole thing, P and R. Okay, then next, on a new line we can put just R. Again, if we have a line with an ampersand in it, we can put either the P or the R. We want the R, so we'll put the R on a new line. So we're using, again, ampersand elim. This time we're doing it on line 2, so ampersand E, line 2. That's our conclusion, so we're done. Okay, so that's just the beginning. Again, you should read chapter 15. There will be more videos, and then of course, you've got the problems in Carnet.